21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Set. Go to base. Watch till you find. Check right, check right. Watch safety green. Watch safety.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Oh, he's going to take a shot. He's got a man. Complete. 20. 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tavon Austin, 79 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
Next to score, Bengals 7, Steelers nothing. Randy Bullock set to kick off.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
On the set. 6. Line 36. One twist, one twist, one twist. Twist, twist. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare. Safe. Out, 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 out. Score. Let's go. We got double up. Ready.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Check out 49. Check 49. Check 49. Get it.
Looking to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And now here's Switzer, the target, and he's got it. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
Watch 36. 36 the mic. I got it. Watch twist. Hatchet. Five.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
That's
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Going for the deep ball. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Joe Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 11th touchdown of the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Keep it up, guys. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Hey, orbit.
Second and 11. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And the intended receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels. And it's third down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Record. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You must be dreaming. No. Off. Hit it.
Back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that makes the score 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
We got this at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll look to throw now on first down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
It's second down.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Check 99. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Hey, lock it. Hey, switch gears. Ready?
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And from down in Miami, an update. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready? Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Watch tight end. Tight right.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Intercepted by the Steelers. His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 27.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. On 2nd down, Samuels. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd.
Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno. Check three, check three, check three. Shoot.
He'll drop to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little... Oh, he tried to pitch it and the ball's loose. Well, I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's second down. They go play action now. Haskins, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there for Cincinnati. 45 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go.
Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 5th touchdown now on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Bullock good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. On the return, the Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
1st down, Steelers.
Ready, set.
52, Mike 52.
Rock it.
Kill.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Set, ready. 90, Wolf.
36. Yeah, that's what I do.
Hey, Zoo.
Watch 36.
2nd and 14. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Get him. Watch 36. 36.
Bravo.
Here we go. Mike 36.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Coverage there by the former 1st-round pick, William Jackson.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Joker, 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 joker. Check.
Hey, Sam off.
They'll try to run it. This is counter. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the one.
Well, you'd have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the fourth quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
Six guys. Check 6 guys. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert.
Ready, ready.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 28-7 ball game.
Steelers 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 24.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Haskins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. T.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now Haskins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Kill, 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 kill. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Get it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
Under 10. 10.
He's going to get this to Austin complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best month.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Bullock's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go. Johnson on the return. The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Switch. Check 24.
2nd and 10. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Crunch. He's
Leo.
Check.
Nice.
They'll look to throw here. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Here's Austin.
Come on, fellas.
The Bengals drive about to get going. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart
trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Space to maneuver at the 40. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Mike 36. Mike 36. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Hey. Yep.
36 to Mike. Don't let him breathe.
Hit it.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
10-2 stop.
Here we go. Check.
Shut up.
Complete to Washington. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Set. 10 Lobo.
52's the mic. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Ready.
2nd and 3. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 28. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference. Meet it.
There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Got it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there.
Five.
Watch 36.
He'll look to throw. Able to find Switzer. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
First down.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Fair.
Check.
Hey, seam 6.
Watch 36. 36.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On the run is counter. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh.
It's our field. Hey, it's our field.
Back to throw here. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, a give to Connor. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Wild Bill.
Hey, high 7.
Hey, Mike 52.
Go.
Me and you all day. I'm coming after you.
2nd and 6. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. He was pretty good a year ago in college, getting outside of the pocket and making plays, but it's a different story here in the NFL.
Well, in college, when he broke out of the pocket, his receivers often knew what to do in a scramble drill. And defenders weren't quite as adept at that. In the NFL, they work on that as well. They realize once he's out of the pocket, you can knock a receiver down. You can take him out of the play that way. You can make sure you hunt him up and make sure that you have him covered downfield. They do a much better job of it. He's got to learn that the speed has changed on this level.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. They go play action here on 1st down. This is caught by Robinson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 25 yards that time.
Ready?
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 34-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Haskins. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
It's a gain of 5. It's a 2nd and 5.
From the 16, Haskins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants it. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone.
The Steelers take over.
Let's go,
1st and 10.
let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now back to throw. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Let's go now. 70, Indy.
You're not ready.
Ready?
On first down, Connor. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Ready.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
No gain on this defense, no gain. Deep dribble.
Back to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
Ready up.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Jam.
Get it.
They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. It was the veteran Devin McCourty who got a hand in there to break that one up. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's got room. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A 1st down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Haskins now off the bootleg. This one hauled in by Sample. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
He's got Green. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Here's Haskins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Haskins to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Geno Atkins has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Austin. So a change of possession here on the punt, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Bengals drive about to get going, and this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Haskins going to try to throw it. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And that is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. 4th down, here's Haskins. And this is going to be incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
36. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
2nd and 10. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, with